Minty was hired out to a neighboring plantation and worked in their fields. One evening, she was told to go with the plantation cook to a dry goods store that still stands today, the Bucktown General Store in Cambridge, Maryland. At that time, Minty had, as she would later describe, thick black hair that stood out like a bushel basket. That day, she had wrapped her hair in a shawl to hide her dark, tangled hair. The store was cramped, so only 5 or 6 people could comfortably walk around inside. As Minty and the cook conducted their business, a 6-year-old enslaved boy ran into the store in an attempt to get away from his overseer. Before she knew it, Minty was in the middle of them, the overseer on one side, the 6-year-old boy on the other. The overseer yelled at Minty to grab the boy, but she didn't move. She certainly wasn't going to help the overseer. As the boy darted past Minty and ran away, the overseer picked up a round 2-pound metal weight and hurled it towards the boy. Now, if you're wondering what a 2-pound metal weight feels like, you can visit the Harriet Tubman home in Auburn, New York, where you can see a real-life replica of what the overseer threw, or you can go to your pantry or stop by the soup aisle the next time you're at the grocery store. If you hold 3 cans of Campbell's soup in your hands, that is what 2 pounds feels like. Now imagine that condensed into a small weight that fits into one hand and hurling it at a child. Well, the overseer missed his target. Instead, it hit Minty in the head, knocking her to the ground. Blood poured down her head and face, and she was unconscious. Minty was taken back to the quarters for enslaved people. No one checked her wound or cleaned it. She did not receive any medical attention. If it wasn't for her thick hair blocking some of the blow, the wound likely would have been fatal, as the weight fractured her skull and drove shawl fragments into her head. The blow had lasting consequences for Minty. She would suffer from headaches, seizures, and periods of semi-consciousness for the rest of her life. Days after the incident, Minty was put back out into the field, blood and sweat running down her face. This unnerved the overseer, so they sent her back to Edward Brodess. He attempted to sell her, but no one wanted to purchase an enslaved girl who was wounded and had scars from being whipped. Once again, her mother Rit nursed Minty back to health as best she could.